Believing that there is a right way to eat is why you are overthinking your food choices and spending way too much time thinking about food. I was on a coaching call with some of my clients yesterday, and we brought forward this conversation. When you believe there's this right way to eat, I have to eat in this certain type of way, or these foods are better than these foods. This is when it comes to lunchtime, when it comes to grabbing a snack, you're not confident in making a fast decision because you're putting so much weight and emphasis on that decision. But is this the right way to eat? But should I be eating this? So let's say, for example, you want a certain type of snack. Let's say you're wanting a granola bar. And in your mind, you're like, but this isn't the best for me. I shouldn't be having a granola bar. I should be eating some real food. Pull out the carrots, pull out the hummus. I probably should be eating in that way because you're putting that on a pedestal. You're going to spend time going back and forth. Well, should I eat what I'm actually wanting, which is the granola bar? Or should I have the healthier option? And you can't make a decision because you're like, I don't know what to do. I want to eat what I'm craving. I really want the granola bar. I'm not interested in having the carrots and the hummus. I don't want that right now. But you think to yourself, but that's a better option. I probably should have that option. It's healthier. It's better for me. And then you spend 10, 15, 20 minutes. Should I have the granola bar or should I have this healthier option? And that is time being spending on thinking about food. And so many of you guys tell me, I just want the food thoughts to go away. The food noise is so freaking loud. How do I get rid of the food noise? You get rid of the food noise by no longer believing that there is this perfect way to eat, that there's this right way to eat. The quote unquote best way to eat is to eat what you are craving. To just make a decision, to just decide. Because you can spend 20 minutes being like, I don't know if I should have the granola bar or the carrots and hummus. And then, 20 minutes later, you're like, F it, I'm just going to have the granola bar. But because you spent so much time thinking about having the granola bar, it's like your brain is so mentally fatigued. And then you're like, well, what else can I eat? Okay, well, I had the granola bar and I probably shouldn't have had that because honestly, I probably should have had the healthier option of the carrots and the hummus. So now you believe that you made the wrong decision. And that's when you go and eat other foods that you believe are also wrong to eat. Yeah, I probably should have had the healthier option, but I didn't choose that. So let me go and have the cookies. Let me go and have the pretzels, whatever it is. You need trust. You got to trust yourself. When you don't trust yourself, that's when you go back and forth. That's when you spend a lot of time contemplating. What should I have? I don't know. And I shared this story before, but I used to ask people. I used to ask my husband, what should I have? Okay, should I have the pancakes or should I have an actual meal? He's like, I don't know. What do you actually want? And I didn't trust myself. So I'm like, you need to tell me. You need to tell me what I'm going to eat because I don't trust myself. So just tell me, what do you think I should have? Okay, should I have the eggs and sourdough for breakfast or should I have the waffles? Can you just tell me? And he's like, I don't know. So true. Just eat the craving. Always end up binging the quote unquote bad food and an unhealthy amount of it. Exactly. It's and a lot of the times when clients come to me, they're like, but I don't know. How do I know what I want? I'm like, you know what you want. You know what you want, but you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to make that decision. So you tell yourself, I don't know, should I have this or should I have that? You know what you want. You know you want the granola bar. You don't want the carrots and hummus. You want the granola bar. But you're telling yourself, I don't know. I don't know what I should have. You do know, but you're afraid to trust yourself to make that decision. Because what if I feel better if I have the hummus and the carrots? But that is a healthier option. I want to want that. Your videos help me so much. I still struggle with food noise. Well, we're having a conversation on the food noise right now. And you guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want to stop thinking about food, stop taking 20 minutes to decide what to eat. You're putting so much heaviness. You're putting so much weight and pressure on that one meal. It's one meal. If you're like, I have to make the right decision for lunch, like I have to make sure that I choose the right thing to eat for lunch, of course you're not going to decide very quickly what you want to eat because you're like, this is a big decision. If you've ever made a really big decision in your life, you're probably not going to take 2 seconds to decide, right? You're like, this is a big decision. We got to sit down. We got to contemplate. We got to put a plan together. We got to figure it out. But deciding what to eat shouldn't be this big decision. It's like, if you're making it this big decision, then you're going to be so afraid of making the wrong decision that you're going to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out the right decision. But there's no right or wrong way to eat. You got to stop believing that this is the right way to eat. And even, I'm going to share a real life example with you. So today I we have like a butcher shop where I get all of my meat. And then I went to the grocery store. Our farmer's market here is closed for the next few weeks. So I went to the grocery store and I bought all of this fresh stuff, like organic food, like grass-fed meat, organic chicken. Like I bought all this nutritious food. And I came home and I was like, I don't want any of that. I want my pancakes because I didn't have it for breakfast. For breakfast, I ended up having some sourdough toast. That's what sounded really good with my body this morning. So I had some sourdough toast. And I was like, I came home and I was like, even though I bought all this nutritious stuff, doesn't mean that I have to have that. I'm intuitive. I listen to my body. I don't say, but this is the right way. Come on, Lorna, you're supposed to eat these foods. I trust myself. I trust my intuition. I don't second guess myself. I did not come home and spend 30 minutes saying, oh, but I really want the pancakes. But okay, but you bought all this food, so you probably should have the food that you bought. Like it's more nutritious for you. I'm like, I want the pancakes. And within 2 seconds, I made myself some pancakes. I don't think about food because I decide and I trust. When you don't trust yourself to make a decision, you take a long, long, long time deciding what to eat. And then, therefore, you're spending so much more time thinking about food. You might not know what you want. But you're definitely going to not know what you want if you just don't make a decision. You're going to find out what you want when you just decide, when you just make a decision. Because then you get to know yourself. You're like, oh, yeah, that hot soup didn't really sit well with me. You know what? I actually probably would have preferred a smoothie. Like, you will get to know your body if you just make a decision. You will think about food so much less when you just make a decision. You just decide. You stop putting so much weight on like, I have to make the right decision for lunch. I have to choose the best option for a snack. Because even the quote unquote healthiest option is going to look different for every single person. You can say that I'm going to use the carrot and hummus example. You can say, but it's healthier to have the carrots and the hummus instead of having the granola bar. But is it really healthier if then later on you had 7 granola bars? No. So the healthiest option is so subjective, and it depends on also what you're eating later on. You can be like, I made the healthy choice. I had my carrots and hummus, and then you have 3 pints of ice cream later on that day. Is that healthy? Or is it healthier that you had the granola bar that you wanted and you didn't binge on 3 pints of ice cream later on that day? I would say that's healthier. So healthier is also so subjective. If you're putting foods on a pedestal, you feel like I need to choose this option. But that's not always the best option. You know, it's like what you're craving in the moment is the best option. Hi, Jasmine. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for being here. If you believe that there's like this right way to eat, like I have to choose this option, you're going to feel really guilty choosing the other option. And you're going to feel like, but see, like I should have chose this option. And then the whole day, you're going to believe that you made the wrong choice. Oh, you made the bad choice. No, you didn't make the bad choice. You had what you actually wanted, and you prevented yourself from binging on 5 granola bars later on in the evening. So was that really the wrong choice? I don't think so. It wasn't the wrong choice. If you want to collapse the amount of time that it takes for you to be spending about food, like if you want to free up space in your mind, if you want to start living your life, if you want food to literally be like the smallest thought in your brain all day, you just got to decide. Cindy, I'm happy you're here. I always love when you like comment on all my videos. I see you commenting all the time. You got to trust. You got to trust. Take foods off of a pedestal. There's not one better decision than the other. And it's definitely not going to be supportive for you to take 20 minutes to decide what to eat. Just make a decision. Just make a decision. Stop putting weight and heaviness on what am I going to eat for lunch? Hold on, I need to contemplate. I need to sit here. I got to figure out the right thing. No, just make a decision. Because then there's also dinner. And there's also tomorrow. And there's also the next day. So this is how you collapse the amount of time that it takes for you to be spending thinking about food. You'll stop overthinking. You'll stop thinking about food when you just trust yourself and you make a decision. So that's what I wanted to bring forward today. We had an amazing conversation with my clients on a coaching call yesterday, and I was like, I need to bring this forward. This is so important because I know how annoying it is to be like thinking about food all day long. And if you don't want that to be a reality anymore, something needs to change. And it's scary to make a decision because, again, you're like, what if I make the wrong decision? But it's not about the right or the wrong decision. It's about making a decision. So then you stop the constant food thoughts. So this is what I wanted to bring forward today. I can spend the next few minutes here answering a few questions. If you guys have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box and I can answer any questions for you based off of this conversation or based off of any specific questions that you have. If you want to drop something in the chat box, I could spend the next little bit answering any questions that you guys have. Lindsay's here, Cindy's here, Rachel, Jasmine, Maria, Jean. Feel free to drop a question in the chat box if there's anything. Could be related to food thoughts. It could be related to overeating, urges. I stopped feeling guilty after binging, which is fantastic. And that will prevent another binge from happening. You know, it's like the moment that you feel guilty about doing something, that's what actually propels a session of overeating. It propels a session of a binge. If you could stop feeling the guilt after a binge or after a session of overeating, you're going to prevent yourself from overeating and binging the next day or even later on that week. It's the guilt that propels another binge forward. It's the guilt that propels another session of overeating forward. So yeah, if you're able to release the guilt, yes, the shame definitely puts me in the binge cycle. Yeah, because, shame and guilt, it's like guilt is an emotion that it feels like you did something wrong. You did something bad. So it's like I need to punish myself even more. So let me go eat more because I got to punish myself. When you feel guilty, like even as a young kid, right? Like think about maybe parents have been like, you shouldn't have done this. And then you feel so much shame. And it's like, go in timeout. Let me punish you even more. And then it just becomes like you believe that you got to punish yourself even more after binging. And it's like, no, you got to give yourself grace. That will prevent a binge from happening. What other questions do we have? If you guys have any questions. That was a fantastic question, Jean. Or not really a question, but you just shared. What else? Well, I have plenty of tips on how to stop binging. I mean, do we have 25 years? I've been overeating for months. I actually just did a 3-day masterclass on how to stop overeating. But when it comes to overeating, a lot of the times it is due to a few different reasons. Number one is a lack of satisfaction. So I want you to imagine having a meal. And this meal wasn't something that you were excited about. You're just like, I probably should finish the chicken in the fridge because it's going to go bad. And I probably should have some vegetables in there. So I'm just going to throw this chicken and broccoli. And although honestly, I don't even want this meal, I probably should eat it. And then you have the meal and you're full, but you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied. You know that like full feeling? You're like, I'm full because like the protein, the vegetables, you feel full, but it's like something is missing. And that is when then you go into the fridge and you actually eat what you really wanted to eat, or you're in the pantry grabbing something else to eat, like a snack. So you can stop the overeating by just actually making your meals more satisfying and eating what sounds like so delicious. Like you should be so excited about your meals. If you're like, oh, I really don't want to eat this, but I probably should because it's like leftovers and it's going to go bad. I don't want to throw them out. You're not going to leave your meal feeling comfortably full. You're going to overeat. The second reason is there's this scarcity mindset. So if many of you guys have struggled with restriction in the past, your brain remembers all the times that you used to restrict and all the times where you said, well, the kitchen closes at 7:00. So when it comes to your meal, you overeat. It's like you overstuff yourself because you're like, I don't want to get hungry later on because then I won't be able to eat. So then it's like, I'm going to overeat to make sure that I don't get hungry. But we have to remind ourselves we're so safe. The kitchen doesn't close at a certain time. You can go back for more later on. Like there doesn't need to be this scarcity mindset. So that's what I would say. Do you recommend any calorie counting? Heck no. Absolutely not. You know, when I used to track calories and macros, there would be so many days, it'd be like 4:00 and I'd be finished all of my calories and macros for the day. And I'm like, I'm starving. And then I forced myself to stop eating because there's no more calories and macros for the day. How can you pay attention to hunger and fullness cues? You're blocking yourself from feeling hunger and fullness. This is where people are so disconnected from hunger and fullness cues. They're like, I don't know when I'm hungry. I don't know when I'm full. Yeah, because you're not listening. And then there would be some times where it would be like, you know, it would be 4:00 and I'm like, I'm so full, but I still have so much protein left over. Like I have my protein macros. And then I was like, well, I need to make sure I'm getting enough protein. So let me just go make some egg whites and a protein shake. And I'm like, I'm so full. So get rid of all of that and trust your body. Trust your body. Like you guys, I'm telling you right now, your body doesn't want you to overeat. Your body doesn't want you to undereat. Your body wants you to feel so freaking good. And it will feel really good when you just listen to it and you trust it. Right? Like if you are continuing to overeat just because it's like, well, I need to get enough protein in, you're not listening to your body. And if you're hungry, but you're like, well, you just got to stop eating, then you lose track of hunger and fullness cues. So, fear, guilt, obligation is the road of binging. Yes, true. It's like your whole day revolves around it. Yes. Yeah. All right. Don't think there's any more questions. But we did talk about, we did talk about food noise at the beginning. Okay, any last minute questions before I pop off? Any last minute questions before I pop off? Your videos genuinely help so much. Thank you. You are the queen. If you guys have not registered for my free 3-day masterclass that I'm hosting next week, be sure to join. The link is in my bio. It's called From Badass to Binge Free. And I'm going to show you, I'm literally pulling back the curtains of how to become somebody that conquers binge eating no matter what. What I see so often is like, but I have gut issues I can't conquer. Oh, but I've been struggling for 10 years of my life. Oh, but like work is so busy I can't conquer. And you're blocking yourself. You're believing that something is in the way. You believe that you're different. You believe that you're the exception. Nothing is getting in the way. Nothing is getting in the way of you conquering binge eating except you believing that something is getting in the way of you conquering binge eating. So inside of that free 3-day masterclass, I'm going to really help you shift your mindset to have nothing hold you back from conquering binge eating. Like right now, you know you're a badass. You're thriving in so many areas of your life, but this whole food thing, you're like, why the heck can I not control myself? And that's going to change. You're also going to feel just as good with your relationship with food as you do in all other areas of your life. So I'm excited to see you inside of that 3-day masterclass happening next week. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you guys soon. Okay, bye guys.